It's time to talk about the biggest developments in recruiting over the weekend, and there was a bunch. We're going to get into it all. What a crazy week of college football it was, and there was some major developments on the recruiting trail as well. So, you guys, we're going to start, but first, hit subscribe real quick. Do me a favor, real fast. Just hit subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. All right, the biggest developments from the weekend. Let's start at the top. UGA is making their move towards number one, sitting at number 3 right now, but they move up 2 spots with the commitment of defensive lineman Elijah Griffin on Friday. He announced that he's coming to the Georgia Bulldogs over USC, over Miami. Elijah Griffin out of Savannah, Georgia is finally a dog. This one had been trending in Georgia's direction. All the experts had Elijah Griffin pinpointed to Georgia. You know, there was a couple visits here and there elsewhere, but for the most part, he's been locked in, and Georgia is not done. Like I said, number 3 right now, but we talk a lot on this channel how Georgia is probably the one to watch when it comes to who's going to finish number 1 overall, and they just made a big move, and there's more to come, especially on that defensive line. I'm looking at Justice Terry, another 5-star, another interior defensive lineman that Georgia's trending for. Now, this recruitment's not over. He took an official visit to Texas over the weekend, which could have boded well for the Dogs as well. But Justice Terry hasn't. He's probably going to take another couple weeks, probably going to decide sometime in December. But this is one that would be a big boost to this Georgia class. Also out there still on that defensive line, Kevin Wynn, who's committed to Florida State, Joseph Mbachu, who's committed to Florida. So Georgia is going to clean up. They also have a couple pieces in the secondary that they still have yet to fill. So there's still a little bit more room, and I expect Georgia to continue to trend toward that number 1 class. All right, now, Inside Scoop listeners, we love Prize Picks. You guys know Prize Picks. You pick 2 or more players, select their more than, less than on their stat line, boom, submit your lineup. You can do it in less than 60 seconds. This weekend, look, you guys got to play this free square, the Ant-Man free square. All he's got to do is score 1 point or more and you hit. So essentially, it's a guarantee. Well, I played that Ant-Man free square this week. I coupled it with Ryan Williams, 68 yards reception. Boom, I hit on the more than as he went for about 73 yards. So Prize Picks, it's easy, it's fun, it's a great way to play daily fantasy while you watch your favorite college football team. Let me know who you guys got in your lineup this week. I got to look at my Prize Picks. I'm going to make some picks for the Wednesday show. I'm going to let you guys know who I'm picking. But tell me, comment section below, who are you picking? Prize Picks. It's the fun, easy way to make a little money during the football season. All you got to do, go to prizepicks.com/inside scoop. And use promo code Inside Scoop to receive a guaranteed $50 when you play 5. So all you got to do, play a lineup, put $5 in. Whether you win or lose, Prize Picks is going to put $50 into your account. Use promo code Inside Scoop. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. All right, the next biggest development from the weekend, I'm going out west to USC, moving in 2 different directions, right? It seems like recruiting's going great. They landed a huge commitment on Friday that we're going to talk about. They're now a top 10 class in America when it comes to recruiting. But this season, not going so great. This loss to Maryland was a head scratcher. Didn't really see that one coming. So you got the season trending down. USC is almost, out of what they wanted to play for this season, while recruiting seems like it's hot. The Trojans landed a massive offensive lineman on Friday, Aaron Dunn. He goes 6'8", 290 pounds. Last weekend, they also flipped safety Stephen Miller. He was committed to Mississippi State. He flips to USC. So you can see recruiting, there's no problem on the recruiting trail. There's some issues on the field. So right now, really interesting. USC, they're moving in 2 different directions. We're going to talk more about it. All right. Next biggest development I want to talk about today is a 5-star quarterback back on the market. That's right. Thursday night, 5-star Jared Curtis decommits from Georgia. He posted a note on Twitter saying that he is parting ways. He's reopening his recruitment. 6'4", 225 pounds from Nashville Christian here in Tennessee. Now, Georgia, Auburn, Oregon, Ohio State, USC. Those are kind of the contenders that are emerging early. But I think Georgia actually has a really good shot to get Jared Curtis back. Now, Jared Curtis in studio here. He sat down for a interview. We're going to run that on Monday on this channel. Be sure to watch the On3 Recruits channel on Monday for that Jared Curtis interview, that exclusive right here at the desk. We had 5-star quarterback. That was pretty cool. So Jared Curtis back on the market, but what he tells me is Georgia is very much in this. Now, I thought a lot of times we see a prospect decommit from a school but kind of leave them still in the mix. Well, Georgia's just not a hat on the table in this one. I fully believe that Jared Curtis is considering the dog still. So let's take a quick look at the top 10 quarterbacks in the 2026 class. And you can see here, we got Faison Brandon at number 1, but Jared Faison and Ryder Lyons, they're the only 2 uncommitted quarterbacks in this top 10. We'll see if the dominoes continue to fall or if Jared Curtis and Ryder Lyons kind of disrupt things by committing to a program that already has a quarterback, or will a program like in Alabama, you see they don't have a top quarterback here. They could be in the market. So could, well, we just mentioned Georgia, but you got Auburn. You got a lot of teams that need a quarterback. So we'll see what happens here. All right. Moving on to the last major development from the weekend, and that's the Tennessee Volunteers making a statement. They beat Alabama in front of hundreds of recruits inside Neyland, and Neyland was rocking. One of the most electric atmospheres in college football, proved to be again. And of course, with Alabama coming to town, you knew there was going to be top recruits in town, important official visits, and one of the most important was Isaiah Campbell. Fresh off that decommitment from Clemson, he's a top 50 player, borderline 5-star. Who knows, when the rankings are done, Isaiah Campbell could be a 5-star player, and he's at a position of major need. He's on the interior of that defensive line. We know Tennessee's trying to load up. So what a great weekend to have a prospect like that on campus, not to mention all the big-time 2026, 2027 players. I mean, we talked on this channel about George McIntyre being at Neyland 2 years ago, taking a photo in the locker room with Peyton Manning. You don't think that had a lot to do with his commitment to Tennessee about a year and a half later? So Tennessee, huge win, but also laying the groundwork for some big wins on the recruiting trail as well. And we're seeing Tennessee beat Bama consistently. That's a major statement, and it's going to go a long way. Those were my major developments from the weekend. Let me know, comment section below, what do you think were the biggest recruiting developments in college football over the weekend? Let me know, comment section below.